Hello, I'm Ruo. The movie 关键功底 Mercy. In this trailer, the protagonist says, I helped create the Mercy program, where many idioms describe situations in which a person is hurt or trapped by their own actions. Only this idiom has its origin linked to law and legislation. 商鞅变法 作法自斃. Shangyang was a person. 变法 refers to the significant overhaul of a nation's existing laws, legislations, and systems. 作法自斃 describes a situation in which the laws one establishes ultimately lead to one's own downfall or harm. The 6 characters 变法 作法自斃 tell a story of Shangyang's life, from his rise to fame to his death. Let's first get to know Shangyang. Shangyang was a politician and a strategist during the 战国时期, and one of the key representatives of the 法家. 法家, often translated as legislation, advocated for the creation of stricter laws to govern the people. Its philosophy on governance was entirely from the rules perspective, focusing on how a sovereign could organize and control government effectively to maximize the national well-being and territorial expansion. They believed that achieving such things was possible only through an absolute monarchy, a system in which the ruler has absolute power over their domain. Since 法家 was a school of thoroughly formulated stringent rules for ruler to manage the populace, its key figure, Shangyang, was undoubtedly harsh and unfeeling. Such a person is bound to offend others. After finalizing the plan for his major overhaul of laws and legislations, Shangyang performed an act. He placed a larger log at the northern gate of the city wall and announced that anyone who moved this log to the northern gate would receive 10 gold pieces as a reward. Because the command was so peculiar, the public only observed, no one attempted. A few days later, the reward increased to 50 gold pieces. Finally, someone could not resist the temptation and moved the log from the south gate to the north gate. Shangyang did indeed pay the 50 gold pieces. The people then believed that the government does not deceive. Only then did Shangyang officially promulgate his new rules. The harsh rules caused widespread discontent, even among the nobility. In fact, the crown prince broke the law at the very moment. However, since he was the future king, he could not be punished. Instead, the crown prince's teacher was punished. The punishment was public and severe, visible to everyone. After that, no one dared to defy the law again. 10 years later, the king passed away, and the crown princess succeeded the throne. The new king's teacher accused Shangyang of planting a rebellion, and dispatched officials to capture him with all their might. Shangyang began his escape and arrived at the national border checkpoint as darkness fell. He saw lodging at an inn, but the innkeeper told him, according to the rule established by Shangyang, those who give lodging to unidentified persons will be implicated and punished if discovered. The innkeeper refused to let him stay. Shangyang sighed, saying, 作法自斃. The very rules I established have brought me to this plight. Later, 作法自斃 became an idiom used to describe being harassed by one's own petard, or suffering the consequence of one's own actions. Now we know that the emphasis of the entire phrase lies in 作法自斃, to be ruled by one's own policy. That is, one's private action lead to a current dilemma. There are many similar idioms. Today we will introduce two of them, 玩火自焚 and 咎由自取. 玩火 to play with fire, 自焚 to burn oneself. This idiom originated from a passage in the 左传 in 公4年 that compares joining a war to play with the fire. Without a restraint, one will eventually bring the fire upon oneself, resulting in death by burning. It is used to describe people who act recklessly or rashly and will ultimately suffer the consequence of their own actions. 咎由自取 咎 calamity, 由缘由 origin, 自取 to proactively obtain or fetch oneself. You may see this term posted in some stores, such as this sign in a Harvard restaurant, that say diners have to get utensils and sauce on their own, because service personnel will not deliver them to the table. Therefore, besides all these means, 咎由自取 means calamity caused by oneself. 经理推行了严苛的考勤制度，结果自己也因迟到而被惩处，正是作法自斃。The manager implemented a strict attendance policy, yet he was penalized for being late. This is a classical case of being hoisted by one's own petard. 他不断在金融市场进行高风险投机，劝他也不听，最终玩火自焚，血本无归。He engaged in high-risk speculation on the financial market, ignoring advice, and ultimately lost all his capital. It was a case of playing with fire and getting burned. 这名偷窃惯犯屡劝不听，再次被捕。他现在的下场只能说是咎由自取。This habitual thief ignored repeated warning and was arrested again. He is now serving the consequence of his own actions. Now let's have a quick review. 作法自斃 refers specifically to the harm one suffers due to the rules or policies one has established. 玩火自焚 refers to bring a serious disaster upon oneself due to one's own reckless or dangerous actions. 咎由自取 refers to all blame or calamity being caused entirely by oneself. Okay, it's today's video. I hope you like it and share your idea with me. Thank you for watching and see you next time.